Tet McMillian. So in a class of wide receivers that is less than inspiring, and as Elliot Wolf, the Patriots executive vice president of player personnel, because they can't give a general manager title because they're cheap, or I don't know why. Tet McMillian, other than Travis Hunter, was the guy, right? 6'5", 200 and whatever, 15 pounds. His tape is good. Tet McMillian not running at the combine.
Or the combine, he reported.
Right, and I was going to say, and not only is he not running at the combine, he is not running at his pro day. This is Drake London all over again. Drake London, people wondered how fast Drake London was, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's not a total apples to apples comparison, but just work with me here. Drake London was like, he knew what he ran. I don't know if it was a 4.68 or a 4.72, but he knew. And he knew if I go put that on tape, someone can see that, then some teams will ding me. They'll just be like, you know what? He's just not explosive enough. Meanwhile, my tape is awesome. You see my tape. I make contested catches. I bully people. I'm good with the ball in my hands after I make the catch. And he didn't test it all. He goes 8 overall to Atlanta, 69, 72, and 100 catches.
He had the broken foot, just as a precursor. So that there was at least you're probably going to run high 4.5s, but you have the broken foot. So we'll let you kind of slide on that one. Tet does not have a broken foot.
Tet does not have a broken foot. In fact, as far as we know, Tet is perfectly healthy. But Tet is not going to run. So Tet is basically telling everybody, I'm going to, and you and I had heard some rumblings about 4.7s.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't blame him because his tape is good.
I would have said to fire his agent if he let him run.
Right.
Mike, I'm curious I don't know if you've researched this, but someone that works in the NFL in scouting world said, I asked him about Tet, and he said, he looked at his production, and I was like, yeah, of course, 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns this year. Then I dug a little deeper. New Mexico game, West Virginia, 506 yards combined, 5 touchdowns. Yeah. The rest of the year, 700 plus yards, 3 touchdowns. It's not saying that he's not a good player. It's not saying he's not a first-round pick. I think as the media goes, and maybe we'll be proved wrong, I feel like the media is higher on him than the league is. He's 2 or 3 on a bunch of really well-respected draft analyst board. It's the third segment, him, Genty, and Travis Hunter are the top 3 players in the class. And I think Genty is definitely the best running back. Some people I don't think are going to have McMillan 1 or 2 as the best. Some people are going to love Luther Burden. Some people are going to love Matt Golden. Some people are going to love Emeka Ibuka, who's probably going to run 4.4, who is going to crush all the interviews. Yep. He's a really polished player. There's no downside. I like Tet. I'd like Tet a lot more at 19 to Tampa Bay than I'd like Tet at 4 to New England. I know they need receivers, but I almost feel like if you have the right OC and the right quarterback, you can kind of get some B plus guys around him and not shoot for the A guy when left tackle is still a problem, for example. Right. So not trying to hate on him. It is a big red flag, right?
Yeah. I mean, and Elliot Wolf did say, obviously, as we've been talking about, D-line, tight end, running back, probably the 3 best positional groups in the draft. And he's like, when it comes to offensive line and wide receiver, it's meteor in the middle of the draft. And that's we're talking about the Jalen Royal type, we're talking about those sorts of players at wide receiver that would be in that, late 2nd, 3rd, early 4th place versus at the top of the draft. And I agree with you. And I think there's actually a chance now that Tet does end up going somewhere in the teens, in the late teens.
Tampa Bay at 19 for Michael or Tet makes so much sense.
Right. You'd be if you land that type of player there, there's high fives in the draft room. You're like, okay, we just made ourselves better today. That's just the idea of taking a player like that at 4 or 7 or 9 or whatever. It just seems way too risky. And just, I don't know, they're better players. There are better players at other positions. And I think if you're a team early, I play to the strengths of this draft, play to the D-line. For if you're in desperate need of Ashton Genty and a running back and want to build your offense around a running back, which some teams have done recently, go for it. I would not sit here and tell you you're an idiot because he's that kind of player.